Twins.
Hello, everyone. I am Adam Bradford. I'm the CDO at Demiplane, and we are here for another incredibly enjoyable time with JASPER'S Game Week. We are raising money for suicide prevention. You are not a critical failure. I am joined by some wonderful special guests, and we're going to allow them to introduce themselves right now. We'll start with Krystina.
Oh, hi. My name is Arielle, and I am the host of Star Wars The High Republic show. I play a lot of games. I do a lot of stuff and things. I sing, I act, I entertain. I also enjoy long, quiet walks on the beach. Between my toes, eyes tied. And I like these ears. So let's have fun and stuff. Bye.
And Toni.
My name is Toni Winslow-Brill, and I do a bunch of things. I just was one of the authors of Candlekeep Mysteries. So I did the adventure called Xanthoria. I do a lot of editing and writing, and I wear lots of hats. I also work for Baldman Games, and I do their Moonshade adventures as well. So it's fun. I got lots of things going on all the time, I feel like.
And
they're
Gail.
fun though. They're fun.
Yeah, lots of fun. Gail.
Yes, I'm Gail Simone, and I'm a writer of many things and an internet troll. At Gail Simone on Twitter. And currently I'm working on so many things it would take too long to list, but some of them are in games, some are in comics, and some are in prose, and some are in film, some are in television. So I'll see you guys all soon.
Excellent. Lindsay.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Janu. I've been playing D&D since I was 9, and it's not a phase that my parents thought I was going to grow out of. Still
I'm glad
here.
You didn't.
Yeah, that's true. I'm a high school geography teacher, which is really fun. Teaching online, not ideal, but we're managing. And I've written a few role-playing game books. Sailor Moon helped out with a few things. So if you want to Google it, we got some fun games out there. And I'm just so excited to play with all these wonderful people. It's going to be great.
Outstanding. Geography was my worst subject by fact.
Yes, so. If you were in my class, you would be having.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it a bit. And Emily.
Hi, I'm Friedman. I'm a professor of English at Auburn University, where I teach about storytelling in games and have published a bunch about live streaming and tabletop role-playing games. So I'm now doing what I study today.
Nice.
So glad to be here.
The Alabama connection, roll tide. Turner.
Hey, everybody. My name's Turner. I am the host of the Gimme the Loot podcast, a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition actual play podcast about 5 dysfunctional randos who meet at a fantasy truck stop, try to save some lumberjacks, and end up stuck together for the rest of the adventure. They are not good people, but they're trying very, very hard. I've been playing the game since I could sneak into my older brother's room and steal his Dragon magazines, and I've been really looking forward to today.
And you have a podcast voice. It's so
thank you.
soothing.
Thank you very much.
I can already tell. I'm going to have to check out the podcast. And Patrick.
I'm not sure how I followed the podcast voice. I was just listening and like, oh, I'm up. Oh, great. Patrick Sheil. I work in HR up in the Northeast, and I actually found D&D through playing Ultimate Frisbee with a bunch of friends. I still play club up around the Northeast, but one of my good friends started DMing because we were all like, we should play. This sounds like an awesome adventure. And 3 years later, we're in our second campaign.
Wow.
Nice.
And what are you playing in the other campaign?
We just started, and I'm playing a bard and very excited for it.
Very good. Very good. Well, I am really thrilled to have all of these players together, and I cannot wait for the shenanigans that are about to ensue. And on that note, we're just going to jump right in. We've got a brisk couple of hours today, and we're going to get as far as we can get and wrap it up wherever we are when we get there. So the Bearfolk settlement of Brambleby has summoned you to their aid, situated in a thin area between the world and the realm of fairy. The Bearfolk have suffered recent attacks from a mysterious band from the Feywild called the Uncanny Court, a group of misfits under the rule of the controversial figure Lord Cyclops. And so we start in the settlement of Bramblebee, and you see that this entire settlement is surrounded by thick thorns, almost just a wall of thorns all the way around it. You could get in by flying over, but the bear folk have, of course, invited you in through the opening and the gates, and you are in the settlement. You see giant bees flying around everywhere, giant honeycombs. You could live in one of the, what do they call the little holes in honeycomb? Whatever, the little holes in the honeycomb. You could live in one of these. That's how big these things are. Honey is everywhere. The bears are creating, are taking the honey and packaging it, and they trade with nearby settlements. And so there's a ton of activity going on around, literally bees buzzing all around you, and bears that are running to and fro to collect honey and to keep going with the juggernaut of commerce that they have here in Bramblebee. And you are situated here in a place of honor. You're around a really, really large table, and you see that Mayor Margot addresses you and says, and that is why we need your help. You are the greatest heroes for at least a mile or two around here, and this is the help that we need to repel. We don't know why these uncanny folks are coming around here and trying to cause problems for us, but we need you to stop it. And to aid in your quest, we are going to gift you all with powerful magical items that are going to help you in this quest and help figure out why they are attacking us. And so, and at this point in time, you turn around and you see that Piper is sitting around the table fiddling with something. What does Piper look like, Krystina?
Oh, okay. So Piper is 5'5", wink, and she is a satyr and a bard, and she's just very, very, I don't know, vibrant would probably be the best word. And she is fiddling with, okay, so Piper is a failed merchant and she wants to be a glass blower, but she's having some difficulty. So when you see Piper, she's sitting at the table and she has her glass blowing kit and she has one piece of glass in her hand and she's just going, it still doesn't work.
What kind of magic item has Piper been gifted by the bear folk?
She has been gifted a ring of water walking. So
hopefully that's going to be very useful. Going around the table a little further, we see Toni. Let's describe your character.
You see a small little kind of a thin female halfling, and her hair on one side is blue and the other side is purple, and it's kind of it's sticked back, but it's kind of different like lengths. Like it's a little shorter on one side than the other, and if you look close, you can't figure out if it was cut or burned or what. But she's like, my name is Lily Poof, and how are all you? And I don't know why I'm here, but those are really big bees, and I'm really excited to be here about the bees, because can we ride a bee, please? That'd be so cool. What about going in their house? Can we eat all that honey? I ate honey once and it gave me a stomach ache.
These bees are not for riding, but perhaps after you help us, we will try to see what we can do if we ask them very politely.
That sounds really good.
What kind of magic item do you have?
I have this wand, but I don't think it works very well all the time. It doesn't really do what I tell it to do. And sometimes I think it's just broken, and I've been trying to figure out somebody to fix it, but it just doesn't really. It's a wand of wonder.
I'm sure we're going to find out all about that. All right. And Gail, what does, going around the table a little bit further, seated next to Lily Poof, we have?
I am Mallory Goodbarrel, a halfling warrior, and I'm completely armored up. My feet are kicked up on the table. I don't care about looking like I have manners or care. I'm a little concerned about the bees. I don't know if I'm allergic, and they're very giant, especially compared to me. Although I do realize that I have this Vorpal sword that was gifted to me, which is supposed to hack through most anything. So if a bee was to get too close, perhaps I could protect myself with this sword. I also have a mushroom obsession, which I'm currently eating a plate of mushrooms with my hands, no utensils necessary. And I'm stubborn as heck. I don't take direction very well. And so here I am. I'm here for the coin and the fame.
Could we perhaps remove your very dirty boots off that's where we eat our food, and we continue to go around and
Dirt never hurt anyone.
to Lindsay, describe your character.
My character is a young Adam Driver who's sitting awkwardly at the edge of the table. It's like, doesn't really know how to fit in here. He's got a studded leather armor, and he admits to you that he's actually just recently stumbled out of the deeper Feywild. So he's trying to work his way to Chult. And he's just not working out for him. He actually turned down the gift from the bears because he's stumbled out of the Feywild with a number of gifts he did not ask for. And one of them is this full body tattoo of kind of skeletalized leaves that has recently appeared all over his body. Like the leaves have been partially decomposed and you can just see the vein outline. And it's a ghost step tattoo, which allows you to temporarily become a ghost.
And you see, especially because of the smoldering that must be happening with a character that looks like that, then you actually see that two of the adolescents of the bear folk, one of them you've picked up, their name is Grizz, and the other one is named Smokestack. And they are around you, and they are just oohing and awing and like trying to trace the tattoo, on your arms, and just, really, really enamored and fascinated with you. I'll let you decide how you're going to react to that.
He's totally cool with bears. Like, feels pretty relaxed with the bears. It's the people at the table he's not doing well with.
Right.
So he's just, like, hey, let's go.
And we continue to go around. So Emily.
So you see kind of admiring the tattoo and kind of poking at it very surreptitiously.
Oh no.
It's a small it's a small gnome, even for a gnome, with a kind of shock of a stripe of pink hair, dressed in a kind of purple attire covered with planets and stars. Tied around them and kind of continuously flicking is a cloak of billowing that seems to be a new acquisition. And just every once in a while, just.
And so just to be clear, as the dungeon master here,
yes,
you had the ability to choose any magic item
yes.
in the game that wasn't an artifact.
Yes.
And you have a cloak of billowing. Excellent.
So,
This is wonderful.
So metagame, I asked my students what they would suggest, and this is what they voted for. So
not a cloak of stars.
I know.
I love it.
War Eagle, and I honor my students.
I love it. This is wonderful. All right, and we keep going around the table. The cloak is billowing. I mean, it is majestic. You are fairly short, and so
it's very cooling.
Yeah, and so it is just out the back. It's like almost horizontal, and it's billowing. All right, and Turner, what about you?
At first glance, it's pretty easy to mistake LaCroix for a Yeti. He is clad in his breeches, and his long coat are made from the pelts of the giant Angora goats that his Goliath clan raises. At 8'2". He towers over people normally, and he knows that intimidates some people. So he's hunched at the table, probably very daintily drinking something, because he is very conscious that intimidates other people. His clan doesn't have the same opposition to body modification that Goliaths typically do. So the brown vertical stripes that mark his body have giant-esque runes inscribed on them in slightly silver paint, as well as a couple of bright red tattoo stripes that run down his arms and across his face, and where you to see underneath his cashmere sweater and chainmail shirt across his chest as well. He is a rune knight and is familiar from the air. He comes from the Clare Mountain right up the street, actually, where he learned the art of giant magic from Rummy Dave and Wino Len, his mentors.
Excellent. Excellent. And what was the magic item in there?
Oh, so it's a blood fury tattoo. So in addition to
that's a
his
good-
markings, it allows him to unleash some additional damage when he strikes a few times a day. And it is patterned after Wolverine's classic costume because I leaned really hard into the X-Men theme. So
Excellent. X-Men theme. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. All right, Patrick, what about you? Last but
Well,
not least.
Fantastic. Garnet's sitting in the corner, solid. There's probably only 2-3 things that looks out of the ordinary about him. Very standard, other than piercing eyes, one blue, one green, and a non-magical tattoo that if he wasn't wearing leather armor, you'd see goes a snake all the way from one arm all the way up there and then connecting with 2 snakes into an S on his chest, which for some reason might look like a symbol to Loki. I don't know. He might be a mischievous little lad. But he's quite observant. He's watching and just plucking his leer.
And what's the magic item here?
The magical item I chose, that he was given, was the Wand of Polymorph.
Ooh. That's going to be tough for me to deal with, folks. Let's just be honest. That's going to be really tough. But hey, we're going to do it. We're going to do it live. All right, here we go. So we have this incredible band of adventurers coming together to assist with the bear folk of Bramblebee. And Mayor Margot looks at you yet again and says, it is time. We're afraid that they're going to attack us. They attack us every nightfall. And if we don't get out there and find something out, I just don't know if we can stand it this time. Captain Ironside, and she gestures to a giant bear that looks more, polar bear-ish, or possibly was some kind of other bear, but has gone gray through all the years. And he looks over and says, "All right, this way. I'm going to show you how to get through the veil. Is everybody ready?"
Let's go.
Ready.
Let's do it. And you see he just slams a pike that he has into the ground, and you see a couple of other bear folk soldiers of the watch are kind of flanking you as you're coming through. And as this happens, you see, due to an incredible donation that we just got, this scene is so inspiring that Emily, you're going to have advantage on a D20 roll if you want it, and as you want it as we go forward here. You are taken out through the massive gates of Bramblebee. You are walking through this tunnel of thorns, and you arrive on the edge of just a little bit of a clearing, and then a massive forest sprawls out ahead of you. And this forest looks like it probably has things alive in it, 30 feet in, that you can't see because it just looks so dense. There's a smell that just smells like soil and rotted plant, and all kinds of those forest smells just assault your senses. And as you go into this, you see that the horizon gets a little bit blurry, just a little bit as you're walking here, and you immediately, your hair stands on end. You know that this is a special place. You've heard of these called ley lines or thin areas of the veil. And so as you are walking closer to this, Captain Ironside says, "Well, obviously I would go with you, but I've got to stay here and protect the settlement. But I do want to warn everybody that once you walk through the squiggly lines in the air right there, that you're pretty much just immediately going to be right into this Feywild. And when you're there, there's a giant gate that leads to the uncanny court. Now, some of our scouts have gone in and they've said that this giant gate is a little bit hard to get to, but I'm afraid, as this always goes in quests like this, I don't have a lot more information to give you. And so you're just going to have to do the best that you can." And he just kind of steps out of the way and gestures with a huge gesture over toward the squiggly lines in the air. What do you do? Yes, Krystina or Piper.
Can I tap your side?
Adam didn't hear that. Ironside might have, but Adam did. What'd you say?
Can I tap your side?
Yes.
I think you should know that your name is a lie because your sides aren't made of iron. And it's really troublesome.
It is a metaphor, I'm afraid. And so
Metaphor what?
For my sides being so strong that we're actually, it doesn't make a lot of sense because I got that nickname when I got stabbed multiple times in my side and I bled quite a bit and they weren't very iron at all. But I suppose since I lived through the affair, then that's why I got that nickname.
You're gray too, like your fur. It's like metal.
I think that makes it make a little more sense. I appreciate you helping me with this existential crisis.
I mean, when you were stabbed.
Metaphor or metaphor?
I just assumed that your parents were a fan of classic courtroom dramas.
That could be it too. Yes.
To be fair, blood has iron in it. You were stabbed, iron down your sides, iron side.
There might have been shrapnel.
This has been a real tilt-a-whirl. I mean, I've been kind of all over the place in my emotions in the last 30 seconds, but I think I've ended in a better place.
You are a colossus of a bear as well.
I appreciate
I just
that.
moved to stand in the billowing smoke of the cloak. I'm just nodding, but I just stand in the smoke on purpose. I'm like, while everyone's talking.
I just heave a really big sigh and I guess we're going back in here again. And I march in through the portal.
Well, that is what we're paying you for.
Y'all are getting paid.
We're getting paid?
Details to be discussed at a later time.
I got paid a ton.
I was pretty sure this was for charity.
All right, what do you do?
Onward and upward. Yeah.
Walking through the veil. So as you move forward, you start, some of you are inching, others a little more boldly striding forward. You get into the squiggly lines in the air, and it just looks almost for just one moment like a mirror. And then as you push through, it's almost like a bubble burst, and that pop lets out, and you are just completely expelled onto the other side. Everyone make a dexterity saving throw to see how you end up on the other side in the Feywild. Did anyone get less than a 12?
Yes.
Yes.
12 exactly.
Okay, many of you. So you are all just tumbling down what looks like a magical slide and spiral, and you come out with a crash on the other side of this, and you are prone at this point in time. As you come out on the other side, everyone else is standing. Some of you, if you did well in the superhero landing on the other side of this, you stick it. And so as that happens, you notice before you another forest, but this one looks so much brighter, so much more carefree. You see birds and hear them all around you, but it's at this moment that you hear something else. It is the roaring cacophony of a giant waterfall. And as you look at it a little bit closer, you see that it's not just one, it is possibly half a dozen that, little streams and rivers that are coming together and creating a giant wall almost of water that is probably 300 feet in front of you. And it's at this point in time, too, that you see something glistening in what might be the cave behind this waterfall. And it looks like the metal work on what is likely a gate, but behind this waterfall. And at this point in time, you notice that the birds go silent and you don't hear anything anymore for a little while. And things just get very, very quiet, unnaturally so.
Can I check out if there's anyone around or anyone watching for us?
Make a perception check.
26.
You notice that up on one of the trees, underneath some of the branches that give it quite a bit of shadow, you see a pair of glowing yellow eyes looking back at you, and you catch movement that looks like whatever this creature is blue skinned, and has a prehensile tail twirling out from his backside, and he turns to flip to hang upside down for a moment on the branch, and then you hear a sound that's just like boof, and as that happens, you see another puff of smoke and you smell brimstone surrounding you, and you see a creature that looks like a blue elf or a tiefling just land on the ground next to you. I am Night Slither, and you are trespassing on the uncanny court's ground. You shall all die on guard. And you see that he pulls a rapier out from somewhere. I have no idea where he keeps it, but he pulls a rapier out, and he starts to challenge you and says, "You shall never make it to the gate, mein Freund." And you see at this point in time, he goes poof, and he is gone again in a puff of purple smoke. But you see that he appears probably 100 feet away, and you see that he is beckoning to you.
Contradictory.
Someone should go check that guy out. He's kind of scary. I'm gonna stay here in the smoke.
Anyone want to go check out Nightcrawler?
Do I?
Night Slither. I said it was Night Slither.
My apologies.
Man.
Do I see any way that we can turn off this wall of water, or is there a path through it? Do I see any way through?
That is an excellent question. What we are about to start is we are about to start a kind of an objectives challenge here. So there are a variety of things that happen at this moment. And all of what you just said is exactly a great thing for you to try to do here in just a second on the initiative order. But we rolled initiative for everyone at home. We rolled initiative right before we started. We're about to jump into that initiative order to save us some time here on the stream. And at this moment, you also see a beautiful, dark-skinned, just goddess arise from the top of the waterfall. And at this point in time, you see that she has a majestic white mohawk, and she is wearing just skin tight clothing everywhere. And she says, "Trespassers, you shall perish at the might of Squall." And you see that she raises her hands, and lightning strikes into both of her hands, and thunder crashes. And you hear it all across this forest that you're in, and you see that it starts to rain, and you see lightning striking her repeatedly up above you. Also at this point in time, trying almost like they're dueling, trying to figure out who was going to talk and monologue first, you see that there is a Goliath who looks massive. He's got at this point in time, he is situated on one of the rocks that are near the waterfall but kind of flanking it. And you could swear, as you see the sound that he lets out as he starts laughing, you could swear that he's painting. It looks like he's painting something on a canvas there. And he turns around and says, "I am Behemoth." And you see shards of metal start to just cover his entire body. And then at this point, you see that he has giant, almost like boulder rocks, like kind of small boulders. And they are just stacked up next to him like firewood. And he says, "Let us see. Is not the special because my friends are not here, but she's still fastball." And you see that he chunks a rock in your direction, and it just crashes kind of in front of you at this point in time. And he says, "I could have hit you if I wanted to. You must die." And at this point in time, we're going to hit the initiative order. And this is going to be Piper getting to go first. What are you doing here, Piper? Actually, before that, since Gail said this originally, Gail, I'm going to actually let you make either a survival check, a perception check, or an investigation check if you would like to try to find a path to where you might discover something that can cut off this waterfall.
Yes, I would like to see that, because otherwise it looks like we can't just go through, correct?
It looks like you absolutely could. You get incredibly wet, and you can't really see from where you are at this angle, but there is a pretty large moat in front of where this is. Somebody could potentially, walk on water across it. But other than that, everyone else is going to have to take a dip and a swim.
Okay. Okay, so I want to roll to see what it looks like we can do to get across and into this location that we're supposed to get to.
All right. And that's going to be a D20 plus, whichever is higher for you, wisdom, survival, or intelligence, history. I'll even allow that, or investigation. So probably whatever's higher between your intelligence and wisdom modifier is what you're going to want to use.
Oh my
there.
God, I'm kind of dumb. Okay.
There are no dumb characters, just
all my
bad
genetics
rolls.
went into my strength.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay. I got a 13 altogether.
Okay, so actually you do see with a 13, you see that what you do notice is you notice that the waterfalls do not look like they are entirely natural. They definitely look like they are artificial in some ways. And so that probably gives you a little bit of information as you get closer to the waterfall. Now we're going to jump into the initiative order, and Piper, what are you going to do?
So who's out in the middle of the water? Where's the
So actually Squall is what she called herself, and she is up kind of floating. It looks like she might be flying up over the top of the waterfall. So nobody is actually in the water itself in front of you, but that water is about 300 feet away.
Oh, okay. So Piper has on her ring of water walking. So she is going to start to skip across the water very daintily, and then she's going to run up the waterfall.
Okay, so it's about 300 feet away from you. You can't quite make it there, but that's the intention. You want to keep moving.
But I also have a trait that allows me to do a majestic leap.
Okay,
and it adds whatever. I can roll a D8 and it'll add that to whatever my
Let's do it and see how far you can get.
Come on, Piper.
So graceful.
I'm like a All right, so that adds 5 to that.
Satyrs gonna say.
But I just want to come up right under her at the waterfall. Like I want to stop sideways and just look at Squall and say, "Want to talk?"
Okay, all right, that's what you do. So I'm gonna need an athletics or acrobatics check, and it sounds like to that distance you can add that D8.
Mm-hmm. All right, 16.
That sounds good.
22.
All right, so that's a pretty good roll. And so what we're going to have happen here is you can make it, and that hypotenuse will say between where that waterfall is going. You get up about halfway up the waterfall at this point in time, and you would probably fall if because you stop moving. But we're going to say that you find a very easy hand and foothold that you can kind of stand there, and you're probably 100 feet away from Squall at this point in time. I don't do geometry apparently either, but you're somewhere in that neighborhood, and at this point in time you can see her, and she definitely sees where you are.
Oh.
Anything else that you're doing?
No, I'm gonna talk to her later.
Okay, say that you talk to her. All right, sounds good. Now it's Augie's turn, and Mallory, you're on deck.
Stumbling in, I totally ate it, and I'm like face down in the dirt. And so as I hear this, the first thing that I think is, well, maybe some plants will help. And so I'm going to cast Speak with Plants in the 30-foot radius and say, any help, guys? Any tricks? Anybody want to help us out here?
Run away, you're all gonna die, run away. And you hear the plants really start to panic quite a bit. And then finally, one of the calmer plants, it's one of those that looks like it's been around a little bit longer. The plant finally says, there's a hidden path. And you see that it kind of moves its branch very, very slowly and kind of points out that it looks like through the forest here, there is some kind of drop off, probably 120 feet away from you through that side of where it's pointing. And it does look like there's the potential that this could come up under the waterfall.
Okay, then I'll use my movement to get up and move as far as I can, which, since I have tiny little stubby feet, is not very long.
All right, so you're moving towards what is potentially that secret path, if you can trust the trees in this area. All right, Mallory, what are you doing? Mallory, Gail, what are you going to do?
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Your real name is Gail.
Yes. Mallory is running out of patience. She doesn't have very many to start with. And so she's going to go ahead and take a look at this path. But if this looks like it's going nowhere, she's just going to use her sword to try to get through this water.
Okay. All right. So you do see, so if you go after you see that Augie, Emily's character here, moves towards this secret place, it does seem like there's some viability to that. And you already knew from the last time that that this is artificial in some way. And so it's almost like you see the gears turning in a thought bubble above Mallory's head. And it's like, I wonder if the controls are there. And so you do think it's probably a pretty good place to go.
Okay, yeah. So I'm heading there, seeing if I can shut this water off somehow.
Okay. So you run ahead and you kind of, as you're really, really pushing and dashing through, you're going to kind of just shoulder past Augie as you get down in front of her. And you do see, as you round this corner, you see that there's a giant basin that kind of goes underneath here that ends in a tunnel. You can't see anything past that tunnel, but the tunnel absolutely 100% goes underneath where the moat is.
Okay, so I want to explore this tunnel. My sword's out though.
Yep. All right. So we'll come back next time. Patrick, what are you doing? Were you prone or did you land?
I landed.
Stuck. Yeah, I'm so sorry. This is Patrick, the character.
This is my fault.
We wanted to complicate everything here, folks. So this is Patrick, Adam Driver. So what is that Patrick doing?
You could call Patrick Brightwood. His last name's Brightwood.
Brightwood.
So
I'm going to change that to Brightwood right now.
So
sorry.
What's Brightwood?
So sorry.
No. I meant to apologize to you before the game started.
How dare you have the name Patrick? All right, here we go.
Where did Night Slither go? You said he's 100.
Yeah, about 100 feet away from you, and it looks like he's just beckoning, and it's like it looks like he's playing a game with you.
I have this, or Patrick Brightwood has this weird suspicion that he's seen this guy before. It's just keying off something in his head.
It looks very familiar to you. Yes.
Very familiar. Okay, is he up high or is he down low?
Down on the ground at this point.
Okay, I am going to turn into a giant brown bear to honor the Bramblebee people that we are trying to defend right now. And I'm just going to, so that's my bonus action. And then I am just going to start dashing towards him.
All right. And so we're going to say that at this point in time, you're charging towards Night Slither, and you're going to get about half. You're going to be able to close about half that distance.
Yeah.
By the next turn, you'll absolutely be able to get there unless he moves. Anything else that you want to do?
Probably some incoherent growling and slathering as well.
That's probably pretty appropriate because yes, you can't speak while you're in that form. All right, so you all see that Brightwood turns into a massive bear, and it's confusing for a little while because you thought that you just left the bears, but then here's another bear just ambling in a very that kind of like terrifyingly fast way that bears can actually move up towards this blue elf looking creature. And then Garnet, it is actually the real Patrick's turn now.
Cool. I also made my landing. But mine was more Willy Wonka style where I just flipped. Cool. Watching where everyone goes, seeing my friend Patrick run ahead. I think that's a sharp idea. and then I'm gonna turn myself into a direwolf and run afterwards.
Yes.
All
Using
right.
the wand of polymorph.
We've got the wild hunt going on, and so the wand of polymorph, you touch yourself on the chest with it, and you basically looks like you're about to turn into what every movie in the early 2000s was, with some kind of werewolf. But then you keep going a little bit through that, and you turn into a giant dire wolf, and you take off after Brightwood, and you are going to be able to close about the same amount of distance. I think a wolf might be slightly faster, so you're definitely kind of edging up in front of Brightwood at this point, all aimed at Night Slither, who is beckoning and taunting you with his rapier. Anything else?
I'm gonna make incoherent growling noises.
Incoherent growling noises. I thought we might get a howl, but that's fine. All right, so LaCroix, what is your Goliath doing?
First experiencing a brief moment of anxiety that I might have crushed one of the smaller party members when I fell crossing the line. So there's that quick pat down check that I don't have like a gnome or a halfling smeared underneath.
No guts under you, yes.
Then get up and start walking towards the other Goliath. But I do want to make
Friends, this is clearly a misunderstanding. We are not trespassing. We are guests here. We were invited.
To see if they respond at all.
So you're saying that to Squall and Behemoth and
Behemoth. I'm targeting it towards Behemoth primarily.
Okay, all right. Make a if you're trying to persuade, which I assume you are, make a persuasion check, charisma persuasion check. And since he values strength, I will allow you to use strength in place of charisma.
All right. Persuasion. I was hoping for deception because I have advantage on those because of my cloud room.
Okay, okay, deception completely fine. Yes,
there we go.
Yes, it's all in your intent. So you are lying to. Behemoth.
I am close. So,
okay,
so that's a 16. 16.
Okay, so you see that, and he kind of thinks for a second, and what that's going to mean is, and what is about to happen after Lilypoof's turn. You are actually going to get advantage. He's going to actually have disadvantage on the hail of stones that's about to happen because you made him pause and think about that when it comes to you. So just remember that when we're coming through. I'm going to do my best to remember it as well.
Cool. And then for my bonus action, I want to go and activate Giant Smite, which means I go from being 8 feet tall to 15 feet tall as I move towards him. So
all right. So as this,
just a little flex while we're doing it. Just
You have toys as well. Behemoth is very excited, comrade. And so, all right, Lilypoof, your turn.
Well, I'm in a pile on the floor because I'm just, it's like arms and legs everywhere. I get up, and then everybody's kind of going off in different areas. It sounds like, or focusing.
It sounds
on
like it.
one.
Splitting the party is always a great idea.
Right from the very beginning.
I kind of still want to stay in the cloak smoke just because that's awesome.
Right.
So, where did Augie go?
So Augie went down to what some tree told her was a secret path.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, she just
rando trees.
I'm like, are we all turning into animals too? Nothing
and
happened.
It doesn't happen, unfortunately.
Okay.
So yes. So you're running behind the secret path group.
Yes.
And so kind of flanking around to the left as you're facing, and you've got a couple of now bear and wolf that are rushing ahead towards where they saw Night Slither, and then you have a Goliath talking to another Goliath who is just kind of giant manned this thing and started turning it into 15 feet tall. And you see that the painter is now kind of scratching his head like, ooh, this could be challenge. And so then we are to their turn at this point in time. And so what is going to happen is you see Squall, winds heed my command. And you see that she pulls down her arms and lightning strikes virtually everywhere around there. We're going to say that Mallory, since you made it around the corner and you're kind of looking at this, you're actually going to have advantage on this. Everyone else is going to need to make a dexterity saving throw. And if you don't beat a 12, let me know. So dexterity saving throw. So Gail, that just means roll 2d20s, take the highest.
I'm good.
I'm going to use one of my advantages to make
Yes,
this.
you can. So that is the other thing. Emily has 2 advantages, so she's using one of those right now.
Ooh.
I rolled a
Rub it
16.
in.
A 16. Okay. So everyone who got higher than a 12, you're going to take 2 points of lightning damage. And if you didn't get that, you're going to take 5 points of lightning damage as lightning just strikes everywhere. And you hear Squall say, "Do you know what happens
No,
when
no.
lightning strikes a gnome?"
No.
And she waits and she waits and she doesn't finish. All right. So then, all right. So then you see that at this point, Behemoth picks up rocks and just faster than he should be able to do it, he just starts throwing them everywhere. So everyone, just if you can in the Zoom chat, it would be great if you can just let me know your armor class. Whatever your armor class is. It's Gail, I think yours is 18 when I was looking at it a little bit earlier. I can't remember everyone else's.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we've got that. And so at this point in time,
Oh, wait, I'm a bear.
bear, yeah. Tell me the bear's AC. It's probably lower.
Druid life, man.
Yeah, it's rough.
All right. So anyone who does not have higher at this point in time, he rolled pretty badly, higher than a 12 armor class. Let me know.
Yeah, that I'm in pain.
Okay, so the bear does not. All right, so you actually see that as you're rushing towards the blue elf, you see a rock just out of your peripheral come and just crack you in the head. That's going to do 8 points of damage.
It's fine.
8 points of damage. You get smacked with that boulder. It kind of like rocks you for just a second, but you continue to move forward to where Night Slither is.
I
All right,
shake it off.
Just real quick as a reaction, then I want to invoke my cloud rune and make that rock hit the Squall instead.
Ooh.
Say that one more time. That sounds like
So as a rune knight, I've got 2 runes. One of them is my cloud rune, which is what gave me advantage on my deception
got
check. I can burn it off and activate it once per short rest to make a creature within 30 feet, any creature within 30 feet of me was hit by attack. I can use my reaction to cause that attack to hit a different creature of my choice using the same attack roll. So
I love it. Okay, so all right, so as this boulder is coming at the bear here that is Brightwood, Brightwood, you see it again out of your peripheral. It is this close to just smacking your bare teeth. And as that happens, you see that some kind of magic grabs it and slings it back at this time towards Squall. And you see that Squall has to duck and dodge, and you see the mohawk just really flaps over beautifully in the wind. And as this happens, the rock just keeps sailing. And then she is so upset by this, she finally finishes the line and says, "The same thing that happens to everything else."
Oh.
And now it is at this point in time, you see that Night Slither in front of you. Poof, he bamfs out of existence again, and this time he shows up behind you, and he is attacking at this point Brightwood, since you were the first that was going towards him. So armor class, was that an 11 or a 12 on the armor class?
It's 11 for a brown bear.
All right, so you see that at this point you see that Night Slither just on God, and he starts just like kind of eviscerating you for a little
So
bit.
rude.
This is going to deal 12 points total of piercing damage.
Oh no.
12 points of piercing damage. And he says, "You have to try harder." And at this point, we are back to the top of the order with Piper. Muted.
You're on mute.
There you go.
I'm the old man in the chat. So Squall was just attacked. So that's kind of blew my little thing out of the water.
You tried to be diplomatic and we all wrecked it for you. I apologize.
Tale as old as time.
Well, the good thing about it is I guess that plan is dead in the water, and I'm gonna cast Tasha's hideous laughter.
All right, what's the saving throw?
face. No, I'm just kidding. Ooh. All right, it is. A wisdom save of 14.
All right. She fails it. And so you see her turn her eyes down at you after dodging the boulder that came whizzing by her head. And she just said, she kind of like squints for just a second. And then you see the joke take root. And then she, and she just starts laughing uncontrollably. And she starts to fall out of the sky down the waterfall. And you see that because I'm assuming this makes them prone. Is that correct? Tasha's hideous laughter. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so she's going to end up prone in the pool, in the moat. What's that?
I want to run at her. And as she's like going to like start falling, I'm going to do a leap.
Oh, you're going to just cradle her.
I'm going to grab her hands.
Okay. Got it. All right. I'm going to let you make whichever you want to make there, an athletics check or a dexterity saving throw to see if you react in time. And I would like you to use your reaction for that, please. But you've got that you can use.
It's an 8.
All right. You see that she knows that you tried. And as you're looking at each other and you grab her, but she's just too wet. She's been out in this rain for too long, and she slides through and she continues to fall, but she thinks it's hilarious and she is cracking up, and then she splashes down into the water at the bottom of the waterfall. Anything else, Piper? All right, Augie, and then Mallory, you're on deck.
So with still talking to the plants, because it keeps going, trying to find my way, and I'm gonna double dash. I'm gonna use my full action to move.
Okay, excellent. So you get in, you can absolutely get to where the tunnel is at this point in time, and you do see what appears to be some massive lever type device. It looks like the whole room is filled with this. And it looks like, at least at this point in time, the room itself is empty, but that's about as far as you can make it this turn.
Okay.
All right. And Mallory.
Yes. So am I in the cave and seeing the lever as well?
You absolutely see everything I just described. Yes.
Okay. And does it look like something that I could just go and pull down?
It looks like it's going to definitely take a little bit of heft. But okay. Yes, it does look like something. You don't know what the lever does. I mean, it may drop meteors out of the sky, but whatever this is, it looks like you could at least try to unstuck it and make it come down.
Okay, I may be short, but I'm built like a tank, so I have the confidence that I can do this. And I'm starting to worry about the quality of my team that I'm here with. Right now. So I'm going to make the executive decision that I'm going to push this lever.
Okay.
Down.
So as you do it, make an athletics check. I think your athletics check.
Let's see. Where is that? Athletics check. I don't know where that is on this.
Yeah, it's going to be under skills. It's probably like kind of middle bottom. And it's probably going to be, I think you're proficient. Yeah. Plus 6, I think.
Okay. So
you're pretty good at athletics as you.
Okay. So 8 plus
knowing.
6 is 14.
All right. So you absolutely, it takes a little while, but Steve Rogers with the helicopter, eventually like, and like pull it down, and it kind of creaks, and it goes to a stop finally. As you're kind of pulling it back, it crashes to a stop, and it's at this point in time everyone upside sees that the waterfall starts to dry up, and you see that the moat also starts to drain. And this drain is happening next to the two of you that are down in the cave. You see water kind of crashing down into a drainage area, and it is just pushing off somewhere down deeper into these caves.
Right, but it's not overwhelming us.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That would have been bad design on their parts. But yeah. All right. All right. So Brightwood, your turn.
So Night Slither is directly behind me. He hasn't bounced away.
Not yet.
Fantastic. I swing around on one paw like a dancing bear, and I just want to like smash him really hard with a bear hug to try and hold him in place. I don't know if I can. Can I?
Are you trying to grapple at this point?
No, I kind of just want to go bam like that.
Okay. Got it. All right. Yeah. So make that attack roll as the bear then, and we'll just do your probably slam damage if that's, or possibly claws, like whichever's higher there.
But as I am a paladin, can I smite smash?
Yeah, for sure.
Right, I want to smite smash.
Smite, smite, smite.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Who are you to think you are righteous?
I've never said I was righteous.
I can't bear it.
What are you talking about?
Okay, so I don't even know what to roll at this point.
Attack roll and damage is going to do it. So the
Unarmed
bear,
strike?
yeah, or you can do the bear. The bear probably has like a claw attack. I'll allow that too, and it's probably better.
Do an unarmed strike because I'm just going to roll a real die. How about that?
That is perfectly fine.
Okay, that would be a 16.
That definitely hits.
Nice. And then the smite. Now, does he count as a fae?
Yes.
All right. So he gets 13 radiant damage from the smite, and then from the bear claws. Oh, I get a multi-attack too.
It burns. It burns.
Yes. Okay. So this is from the claws. 2d6 plus 4. Sorry. Ooh, 12. Oh, that's mean. That is a 16 just regular claw damage.
All right. So you actually see at this point in time that Night Slither is pretty battered. Did not expect the ferocity of that attack. And you see that reflexively, i.e., this is using his reaction, you see him boom, out of existence, and you do not currently see where he reappeared at this point in time.
Oh, I want a bonus action Misty Step, but he's not there.
Well, you can still do that if you'd like to, but he chose to use his reaction. You can definitely Misty Step, but you don't see where he went.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste it if I don't know where he is.
Now, Mallory and Augie see where he went down into the control area, and you see smoke and the smell of brimstone land right next to you, and you see Night Slither's just like, ein moment, please, ein moment, and you see that he is really, really in bad shape right now. All right, so then it is, let's see, where are we? Garnet, your turn. You see that likely who you wanted to attack is now teleported away.
Sorry.
Just gonna, I'll grin and bear it. It's fine. I regret nothing.
He is
I'll
not
take
here all week.
I'll take my disadvantage. No, I'll just run back to the group.
Okay, so you're running around to the trees, super shady secret path. All right, got it.
Yep.
All right, so and you can actually get to pretty much where you can see inside the tunnel at this point in time, and that's when you see that Night Slither is in the tunnel, and that probably would have been great if he just stayed next to you. All right, LaCroix, your turn. And Lily Poof, you're on deck. Oh, hold on, you're on mute. I'm sure it was great, whatever you said.
No, that was me. No, I will lean over and take a look at Behemoth's painting and give him a.
So, were you going for more of an impressionistic thing, or is this a neoclassical attempt? I'm not quite sure what you're going for.
I do this for therapy for most purposes, and I do not believe that I have completely found my style yet. But I see that.
And while he's doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and hit him once he gets into the
Oh, impolite. All right, so
I will wail around with the great axe. With a whopping 11.
All right, you can do that with advantage since you flattered his ego, and distracted him.
Yeah, that's going to be a nat 1. That's not going to be any better.
Okay, so we'll scratch that one off and say that the 11, as you spin, you see that the great axe, it finds its purchase. I mean, it's like it's there, but you see that dink, it just like completely bounces off this techno-organic metal that this creature is sheathed in. Anything else? Multiple attacks or anything?
Oh God, that's right. I'm sorry. I do have multi-attack. My bad.
I thought you might.
My bad. Go again then.
Don't say I'm not trying to help them, folks. Like I'm.
All right, that one's a little bit better. That's an 18. Actually,
Yeah, that one.
Before
So he just starts crossing his arms as he's laughing, and he misses the other attack coming right at him. What's the damage there?
So that is 1d12 plus another d6, and I'll go ahead and pop a tattoo charge.
The Wolverine-looking tattoo charge starts glowing. Hey, that seems familiar.
There. So 21 all in.
Okay, so you definitely find a seam in that metal, and you see a little bit of red blood start to come out of it. That was not nice. And you see at this point in time, he is really starting to heave and get very, very angry. Anything else you're doing?
If it makes up for it, I like what you're doing here. I think you should keep at it.
No, that's all I got.
All right, so then it is Lillipoof.
Okay. So I was moving down this path. Is any of these people within 120 feet?
Let's say there is, because
Okay.
we don't have much time today.
Okay. I'm gonna keep running down the thing, but I'm gonna take my wand and I'm gonna wave it behind me, just randomly like this, and see what happens.
Oh,
Okay.
goody.
So how does the Wand of Wonders happen? I can look it
I
up
have
here
to roll 100%.
All right, let's do it. Let's see what on earth happens.
Let's see. 18. Oh, I cast Gust of Wind.
Okay. So you cast Gust of Wind, and I'm going to say that as you do this, you actually cast Gust of Wind. Not necessarily you tried to behind you, but it comes forward and it makes the cloak billow even more. So it's no longer horizontal. It's kind of like, wrapped itself all the way around on top of her head at this point in time.
It's just like, yeah.
Yeah, and other than that, unless you want to direct that and make that do something else, that's probably about all that happened there.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's pretty much useless.
All right, but you're down in that
But
control.
I'm still
room
going
now.
as much as I can move.
Yeah, so you can make it into the control room for sure. And at this point in time, you see that what is the saving throw? So Krystina, on Tasha, does she get a save at the end of her turn? Squall. You might be on mute, or you might be looking. I don't know. Sorry. You're very little on my screen, so I can't see.
Creature of your choice you can see within range perceives everything is hilariously funny, falls into a fit of laughter. If the spell affects it, the target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or fall prone, becoming incapacitated and unable to stand up for the duration.
Oh, for the duration, just unless she's jostled out of
At
it.
the end of each turn, each of its turns, and each time it takes damage, the target can make another wisdom saving throw.
She failed her wisdom saving throw, so she is still laughing. But you see that while she was in water and potentially was going to drown, the water is now dissipating and going down some kind of drainage hole at the eastern end of that, and you see that she's just soaked. And she's still just laughing, like knee kicking, holding her gut, laughing beneath your feet.
Okay.
All right, and then you see that you do see at this point in time that Behemoth turns to go towards LaCroix, and he's like, "I will crush you." And then at this point in time, he just ear claps you. And what's your armor class?
11?
16.
Oh,
16 there. Yeah. Okay. So he hits you there, and that is going to do you feel like for a moment he's holding back just slightly. Okay. And as he does, he is going to deal 6 points of damage to you. And then he just says, have you had enough?
I will go ahead and use my reaction for Stone's Endurance and reduce that damage by 11. So
Okay.
I will shrug it off and go,
Yes, I have not had enough, please. Thank you. Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Very well. Ooh, very shady. All right. So then it is going to now. Oh, and then Night Slithers. A moment. I can we just talk about this? I did not. This was all just a test. I am not ready to die. And he's basically trying to beg you all for his lives in that control room. And it is back to Piper. What do you do?
I wait for the helicopter to go past my office.
That's a great plan.
All right. So Night Slither is requesting conversation. So
Yeah, that's under in that control room. So you probably didn't hear that up where you are.
I'm gonna go
but you
back
got Squall
over.
laughing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back over to Squall and like just kind of like sit down next to her. Like, do you want to talk?
I wish I could, because I'm about to run out of breath. This is so funny. I'm laughing so hard. It's like I can't even get my breath out. Oh my god! I will talk anything to get me to stop laughing, please.
I think. Okay, I think if I go boop boop boop. I think it's 3 boops to the nose to stop it. Boop boop.
I thank you.
But if I do it 2 times, you start laughing again. Boop boop.
No, please make it stop. Make it stop.
Are you guys gonna stop attacking us?
Yes, this was all just a test. We need your help. We need your help so badly.
Do that? Why'd you have to do
Because
it?
we needed to make sure that
You have a really great laugh. Anybody ever tell you that?
They don't very often because I don't laugh much. I'm very serious.
Booper, quickly.
Please.
Booper.
I'm about to pass out. Oh, thank the goddess.
Do you have a secret lab? Do you have like a secret laboratory and there's like stuff in it and then we could go and we could like do stuff and maybe like wear really cool suits?
Oh, we could, but we typically ride the Blackbird. And she like kind of motions over here, and there's a giant blackbird, an actual blackbird, like flying, in the distance. That's typically what we ride on our missions. But we need help. Lord Cyclops has completely lost his mind, and he must be stopped.
Again? Does that
He's the worst. I'm not a big fan.
We used to think he was right, but no longer.
So from what I hear, and you didn't hear this from me, you probably know it firsthand anyway, but a friend of my friend who has another friend has a girl that used to date him, and her name was like, I don't know, like Janie or something. But like
Joanna? Joanna Ash?
No, that wasn't it. I don't know, but they said he was like the worst. So I mean, I don't mind helping you take him out. Ooh, I have a thing where I can go like, and maybe he won't be able to see it because he'll be going, and then I can go with the dagger. Yeah.
I understood about half of that, and it all sounded great.
Well, tell your friends to sit down and stop being mean, and I'll tell my friends that we don't have to be mean, and we can all work together. And if you need our help so bad, we're wasting time talking, but I could boop your nose again, or we could carry on.
Please do not. Please do not. Please do not. I cannot be responsible. What will happen if you make me laugh again? Behemoth, cease all hostilities. They have proven themselves to us. They shall be able to help us in the fight against Lord Cyclops and Mr. Malevolent. And you see that Behemoth, he kind of, I was really wanting to put a big hurt on this big one here, but I suppose we shall now be friends. And he offers his hand to you, LaCroix.
I will shake his hand and give him a big Goliath hug.
Very well. And then all of you down in the control room do not know any of that is happening. all you know is that Night Slither is begging for his life right now. So what are you doing down there?
So has he like gotten low in his begging, or is he still standing at full height?
He's definitely like crouched over.
Okay, because I'm short, right? So I'm gonna walk forward, and I have this kind of glowing cat's cradle that I use as a focus and kind of smush it on the sides of his face and do a little cheek squish and cast Cure Wounds and say, "You can be our friends. We don't have to fight."
That is actually exactly what I was asking for, and so I am very happy with this outcome.
Cool.
How many hit points does that restore?
6 hit points.
6 hit points. I am feeling much better, but there is no time to delay. We need your help with Lord Cyclops. The Encron crystal has been stolen, and he is going to use it. He is what? Why do you laugh at this?
Oh, it's a meta laugh. I'm cool.
Yeah. So the Netherese Cronus crystal, we call it Encron for short, and so the Encron crystal has been sabotaged and taken, and Lord Cyclops and Mr. Malevolent, we did not know that they were in league with each other. And so they are taking the crystal and they are making Cyclops more powerful than he has ever been.
Is he getting more eyes?
No, he just needs the one. Come, there's not a moment to delay. And you see that he says, "May I?" And he's looking at Augie at this point in time.
I like swing up and try to get on his back.
Okay, so he allows that, and then he turns to Mallory. He says, "May I?" And he reaches out his hand to you.
I'm skeptical of this. I have a couple questions first. Why are they disturbing the bears and not letting the bears live their life the way they want to? What is it that these guys want, and how are we supposed to stop them? And how do we get to them?
These are all good questions, but I think that it would be better if we allow Joanna Ash to explain it when we get inside the court.
Okay, so can we walk to the court, or do we have to bamf to the court?
We can walk if you do prefer that, but it shall be a good bit slower. But anybody else that wants to teleport with me can hold my hand.
Oh, good. My legs are so tired.
Okay. I'm skeptically going to hold his hand.
All right. So at this point, and you see, and he actually appears up in the drained moat, and they just appear right beside you, Piper, and a little bit down from where you are, LaCroix. And you see Behemoth claps you on the back. Okay, comrade, 'tis time to go talk to Joanna. She knows the plan. We also have Scoundrel there. She is very, very important to what we are doing. And then you see that he starts walking down to the moat.
Where is Night Slither compared to Brightwood?
At this point, so Brightwood, you were up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, lots of players. I'm trying to keep track of it all. All right, so so you're up there, and you see that Night Slither appears pretty close to where you are, right there at the moat.
Okay. I want to start running towards him, transform back into a human, and like kind of yell at him, "What did you do to me? What is this?
Well,
I didn't ask for it."
Yes, you did. We would never ink someone without their permission. You were several brews in, and you were very, very off your rocker. And as this happened, you got a tattoo. It happens all the time.
I did want one to make my mom really mad.
I mean, the tattoos in the Feywild, they behave very strangely. They're not like just arrow to the knee or other silly ones. They have magic. And so I apologize if you did not know that this is what was going to happen, but you did give your consent. I'm sure we can pull out the form that you signed when we.
I just don't. is really blurry. I'm really sorry. I guess I did, but it will make my mom really mad. So I guess I gotta say thank you.
You need to stand up to your mother.
She made me go to Paladin College and I didn't want to.
I hear you. I was in the priesthood. So yes, let's go. If we want to get in, the time is getting late because Lord Cyclops grows more powerful by the moment.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so you see that Night Slither just starts kind of bamfing like forward on your path, and he keeps like kind of shouting and yelling things back at you, but he's trying to really hurry here. You see Behemoth and Squall are kind of taking up the middle of the pack here, and they're walking toward the giant doors, and you actually see that Squall raises her hand. Winds, heed my command, like, because she has to say that every time, and the lightning strikes, and you see that this jewel on the gate kind of glows and opens, and the doors, gigantic doors, start to just kind of creak open, and you see inside that there is a majestic courtyard and another castle on the other side of this. And this castle looks almost like a mansion, like you would see, in upstate New York or something. And so as this is in there, you see that there are all kinds of young pixies and fairies playing all kinds of sports ball games, and all across this courtyard. And Squall and Behemoth start to walk you toward the front door of this mansion. You eventually get through the doors there, and in a pretty large room where everyone has been gathered, you see that there is a woman, appears to be human, but she's likely some kind of fae, and you see that she is kind of fiery, and it looks like she probably is a cleric of the Phoenix. And you see and you see nicely that is Joanna. Joanna is in charge when Lord Cyclops is away. And then you see beside her, you see another human woman, white streak in her brown hair, and she starts to fly toward you. Well, hello there, sugar. It's great to see all y'all. Come on in. Come on in. We're not gonna bite. We're not gonna bite hard. And you say, I'm Scoundrel, and it is a pleasure to have you here on these premises. And she kind of motions for you to come and sit down. And then finally in the corner, you see that there is a very short, squat, might be a dwarf, but he's probably not. He's got ridiculous hair that no actual person would ever have. And you see that he's just, and he's like just punching the wall for a second, but you see that it's not actually punching. He's got some kind of claws that they might even be metal or bone. No one can decide, but he's just like, he's slamming into the wall and just making a huge mess of, I told you that this was going to happen. I'm the best there is at what I do. And you're all not very nice. And he's just pouting in the corner at this point in time. What do you do?
I'm very nice. I don't know what you're talking about. Look at this cloak. I just like ruffle your cloak.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to these yahoos over here. They want to go and take down Cyclops, and I really can't stand that guy. But he's like the absolute worst. He took my woman, and he's just constantly causing me problems, eh? And I want to take him down, but this ain't the way to do it, bub.
You should go start your own school. Show them how it's done.
Yeah, maybe I will do that.
So what's the right way if this isn't the right gambit to do it?
Very well done.
Hey,
very well done.
You leave the puns to the professionals there, bub. Listen. We're in the middle of this mess. He took the Encron crystal because of all these yahoos out here. And listen, I'm Honey Badger, and I don't care anymore. I don't care.
If she was your lady, how did he take her? Because if she was able to be taken, then she wasn't your lady in the first place.
Hey, don't try to pierce my toxic masculinity
I was
in the
about
middle
to
of
say,
this.
You really need to take a more progressive look on your relationship. I don't think ownership is really quite appropriate in this day and age.
Hey, bud, you want to
Accountability is
go
important.
around? And
Okay.
you
What was
see he
your
just
role in
continues to mumble and gripe and moan. It looks like whatever your take is here, this creature does not want to go along with whatever they are planning. He continues to it's like he just don't care.
But if
All
we
right.
need to save this
I
Incron
wanna-
crystal, like how?
Oh, sorry, what was that, Gail?
I just want to know from Joanna is her name, right?
Yes,
Well, how can
I'm
we help?
Joanna.
We are here to stop the attack on the bears and their honeybees and all of their trade and things that they're doing, and broker some sort of peace arrangement, because right now they're terrorizing them, and that's our mission here. How can we accomplish that?
I am very sorry for all the problems that have come from the uncanny court. I can assure you that those were not the doing of the people in this room. Lord Cyclops, he has gone mad. Something has happened in his mind. I feel like someone is controlling him, because I've known him for so many years, and this is not like him, but he has been using other types of fae to invade Bramblebee and the surrounding settlements because they are looking for honey. Apparently it is a component in the ritual that they're trying to put together. So I am very sorry for all that is ailing you and the bear folk, but we need help. We are not strong enough. Cyclops is the most strong of any of us, and he is absolutely the best and the most incredible leader that anyone has ever had. And so we cannot match up against him, and we need your help.
Okay,
Where
well, why
is-
didn't he just
sorry.
offer to buy the honey? Why did he have to go in and just start taking it? And where is he now?
Mhm.
I'm not certain that I can explain or rationalize what Lord Cyclops the Slim has been doing these last few months. As I said, he is not himself. And so it does make a lot of sense, because we are kind of loaded and rich if you look around this place. We could have bought everything, but instead he chose violence. And I'm not sure I have a great answer for you. And then at this point in time, in your mind, Mallory, Joanna continues to speak, and her lips do not move. And she just says, "Thank you so much for your help. We are not mighty enough to stop him by ourselves, and we need heroes such as yourself."
Well, tell us where he is.
He is just a short blackbird ride away. We know that he has gone to the place where the ritual is to be performed, which is a hollowed out basin just a few miles from here. When everyone is ready, we can depart.
All right,
we-
let's go.
Do we hear any of that, or is it all telepathic?
That last part was said out loud in
Yeah.
response to the question.
I'm in. We gotta save these bears.
Well, that sounds great, Sugar. Listen, here's the plan, all right? When we get to Lord Cyclops, he's going to be trying to join the Incron crystal with his central eye there. And if that happens, he is not going to be able to just do red, forceful, concussive blast. He's going to be able to pull off actual heat vision. And if that happens, then we are all doomed. And if we do this, we've got to stop him before it's too late. And the way that we can do that is my power is I can touch someone and I can pull their power into myself, and it weakens them in the process. And so that being the case, I've got to get close enough to him, but y'all got to protect me while I'm attached to him to make sure I drain enough of his power where he doesn't get and achieve the ultimate heat vision.
Wait, he's an actual Cyclops.
Well, yes, what else would he be?
A summer Eladrin.
That's utterly ridiculous.
All right. Your plan.
Just protect me long enough to make sure that I can stop him. So I'm sure he's not going to be alone. He's been working with somebody he called Mr. Malevolent. In hindsight, we probably should have known that was not someone that should be trusted. But it's how things happen. And so yeah, I'm sure he's not going to be alone. We got to be ready for anything.
Okay, well, we have a huge variety of powers and skills and weapons, so let's go.
We are more than happy to be your weapon X as a group.
And so you see, what does that mean? I don't get it.
X-Force better.
I don't know either.
So
We're a
ultimate-
force.
ultimately, as that's happening, you see that Honey Badger is still in the corner, just "Rawr! I'm not going. It's a fool's errand. It's a idiotic, stupid plan."
Can I make an insight check on this guy?
Mm-hmm. You certainly
The
can.
nap.
Honey Badger needs a nap.
He needs a beer.
24.
Oh yeah, you know that he is. It looks like he is afraid of losing someone close to him because he thinks that this is a foolhardy attempt to try to stop Lord Cyclops. He would never admit it, you get the sense, but he thinks that Cyclops is more powerful than him now.
I'm going to give him a hug and then whisper very quietly, "We'll bring her home. But you don't own her. Get rid of your toxic masculinity. That's gross."
I don't hug, bub. And you see that like he actually accepts it though a little bit.
It's okay. The hug was also had guidance in it.
Okay, excellent. All right, so you cast guidance on Honey Badger, and it looks like he might care a little bit more at this point in time, but he's still on the side of not caring too much. After that, you see that they're taking you to a corridor that opens into a giant area that looks like a roost of some sort. And you see a massive black feathered bird land right in front of you. And it just says, "Caw-caw," and says, and then finally you see Joanna says, "All aboard?" Kind of expectantly, to see if everybody's actually give you one more chance to get out here.
Do we climb on the back of the bird? Does the bird carry us somehow? What is the actual? Do we get in the bird? That's creepy.
No, you ride on top of the bird. Why would you get inside the bird?
I don't know.
That is utterly ridiculous.
I've seen some weird stuff.
And okay, yeah, no, you just get on right here, and you see that she actually forms out of what looks just like mental energy, some stairs that kind of go up to the back of the bird.
Right, and what I said was ridiculous. Okay, and at which point I'll go ahead and board.
All right.
Adam, can I cast a spell?
You can certainly try.
I'd like to go over to our halfling fighter and say, "You seem really fierce, and you've got that big sword, and I worry that maybe you get slowed down a bit. So can I just give you this little fey gift and might give you an extra boost?"
What does this fey gift do? I
In
feel like I'm
game,
fine.
it gives you plus 1d8 to your initiative. So it could, if Adam lets you add it on, you could go a little faster.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Let's get this done.
All right. Gift of alacrity.
So when we roll initiative, if we roll initiative, who knows what's going to happen, folks?
Well, I thought
you get to
she could just add it
to
to her current roll if you wanted.
Yeah. No, we'll see what happens very soon. All right. Anything else before we depart the Fey Mansion? All right.
Good.
Time to scramble up.
All right, you see that Squall and Behemoth are getting onto the Blackbird. You see that Night Slither, it looks like he's still been kind of like doctoring himself up a little bit, but he gets up there.
Sorry about that.
And then Joanna gets up there, and eventually you hear like a door slam in the distance. And while everybody's ready to go, then you see Honey Badger just walking out, head down. I didn't want to go, but I guess I'm gonna go, because if I don't, they're all gonna die. And he eventually like walks up, and it takes him a long time to walk up the stairs. He almost has to jump up each of them. And so he gets on top of the Blackbird and he says, "All right, what are we waiting on? Let's go." And you see the Blackbird takes off, and caw, and you do see that the Blackbird is flying out over Very beautiful forest land that is kind of flanking this mansion. And then it gets into a place that is just kind of a no man's land, for a little while, where it is just desolate. The trees are not growing, grass is barely growing, and you see some fires in the distance. They don't look like they're out of control, but some fires in the distance. And as you're coming closer to where the Blackbird is going to land with you, you do see kind of a plateau that is raised, and you see a crystal. Like, you shouldn't be able to see it this far away, but you see a crystal that is glowing so bright. And you know it's a crystal because it's faceted, and so it's like sending rays of light kind of everywhere in that distance. And it looks like the Blackbird is going to land just kind of at the foot of these stairs. And as it starts to do that, you see red blasts start to come out of the top of the plateau, zooming past you. These blasts aren't hot at all because, like, there's no heat involved. They're red, but there's no heat involved, but they are forceful and like slamming into things. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but they're slamming into things around you. And the Blackbird basically turns around, and you see that Joanna is just using her mental energy, and the Blackbird starts to fly away and get out of there. I told the Blackbird to depart before it became too much of a target. This is on us now. And you're standing at the foot of the stairs. What do you do?
So who's going to carry me up the stairs?
I got it.
I got a splinter. It hurts.
All right. So all you can see up above is just, again, that crystal shining light all over the place.
We've got to do
cascade of light.
We've got to, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I was going to say, I'm going to go and double my height up and see if I can get a clearer view when I
double it to what now?
To go from 8 feet to 15.
Okay, so yeah, at 15, then you start to raise up, and you can maybe a couple of steps up you can eventually see, and you see. This entire plateau is roughly 80 to 100 feet in diameter, and you see at the edge of this that there is a Cyclops, and you see his single eye is kind of glowing red at this point, and he's got blue and gold that he's wearing all over. Very simple tunic and way too tight pants. And he's just sitting there, and it looks like he's staring for now at the crystal, but he's not really moving a muscle other than that. To his right, you actually see that there is another creature who has really pale skin, looks like he's wearing some kind of armor. He's got what might have once been a cape, but it's very spindly. It looks like it's not really doing the job of a cape at all anymore, just kind of shreds and rags that's standing there. And it looks like he's working on a workbench of some sort.
How far away are we at this point, Adam?
You are, geometry. So they're about 100 feet away that way. So probably 120 after you would climb the stairs.
You're going to turn into a cheetah.
So
just start booking it.
Cyclops and some goth kid are messing with the crystal. I think it's go time, guys.
Yeah, and we need to get Scoundrel up to Cyclops so that she can drain his power, and we can stop him before all those red things become heat vision.
I'll go. I'll go right away as soon as we say the green light. I'll fly right up to him and start trying to drain his power. But after that, you're just going to have to protect me, because I think he's not going to like that, and he's going to try to get me off. But that'll be my first move, is to run right up to him, or fly. I can fly, so I'm gonna fly up to him and start sucking his power.
Can you carry anybody, Scoundrel?
I can, as long as I got these gloves on. If I carry you, I can carry you in one hand, because I'm taking the glove off this one where I can be ready to touch and ready to suck.
Okay, well, if you don't mind, I'll come with you so that I can cast Fairy Fire to help out.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea.
Scoundrel, I can cast protection from evil and good on you. That might protect you from Cyclops.
Whatever you want to do is going to help.
It's kind of protection against Fae, but you are Fae. Maybe it'll make you explode. I don't know, but
I think we're all Fae. And Cyclops lately's just been saying that the only lives that matter are Fae lives. And so, yeah, he's a Fae. And so if it protects against Fae, then it should be good.
okay, I cast it on her.
All right. Anything else?
Terrible friend.
I'm just gonna get as close as I can safely get with my sword in case I need to take him out somehow.
All right. What? Anything else before? I'm assuming everyone's going to advance the stairs.
Yes.
If not, all right. So you walk up the stairs. You see Lord Cyclops is just kind of still looking at the crystal, and he crosses his arms. I was wondering when you were going to come. And then he looks at Joanna and says, Joanna, I've told you about this. You just should understand that this is the way that we have to do this. They will never agree to let us live with them. We have to eradicate them. It's the only way. And then she responds, that's not right, Cyclops. We know that we are here to protect everyone, including the bear folk of Bramblebee and all of the peoples that are on the veil between the Feywild and the material plane. That is our mission. Don't lose sight of that. And then he finally just says, I've had enough of talking. If you can't see the truth, then you stand against me. Roll initiative.
He's crankier than the other guy.
But is he though? All right. So Piper, what'd you get? Oh, you're muted. Sorry.
19.
19. Augie.
11.
11. Mallory.
I got a 25.
Ooh, wow. That's with that D8. Did you add the D8?
Oh, whoops. No, I did a 20.
Yeah, let's do the D8.
He's a ninja.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, so I got a 3 with that one.
So 28. Wow, that's good news. Brightwood.
Woohoo!
A strong 6.
All right, not so strong. All right, Garnet.
A medium 13.
Medium 13. LaCroix.
A respectable 16.
All right, which adjective are you going to use, Lily Poof?
Fabulous 13.
There you go. Fabulous. All right, so it is then, if that is our order, I'm going to just let everybody know that Cyclops is going to act on initiative 20, and then Mr. Malevolent is going to act on an initiative of 15. So that means that Mallory, you get to go first. What are you doing?
My goal here is to try to help Scoundrel get as close as she needs to get to him. So I'm protecting her on her way towards Cyclops.
Okay, so you're going to be an escort. So we're going to go ahead and say that Scoundrel gets to act now then. And so you're going to advance with her towards Cyclops.
Yep.
All right. So she begins to fly, and she sees, so she can fly very rapidly. And she actually doesn't ask. She sees what you're doing and grabs you like by the scruff of the shirt there, and flies with you ahead. And then you see that she actually lodges her hand into his armpit, trying to
Nice.
stay like in a place where he's not going to be able to grab her. And then you are at Lord Cyclops' feet. I'll say that was your movement. If you want to take an action, you can do so at Cyclops' feet.
I think that I just want to make sure, maybe I'll distract him a little so that he's not focusing on Scoundrel.
Okay.
So
All right.
wave my sword around, do a little halfling dance.
Make
Hey,
a
you suck.
Yeah, so a D20 roll with either deception or persuasion. There's probably not a difference on your side, so it'd be just a D20 roll with advantage. So you can roll it twice and then tell me the highest result, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, I rolled a 20.
Oh, on the die.
Yeah, and then
Okay,
I rolled
excellent. All right,
Yay.
huzzah! All right, so 20 on the die. So we're gonna say that's a critical success. That's how I definitely rule this stuff. And so you roll a 20 on the die, and he is very, very distracted. And so you waving your sword around, you can't tell if it's because he is scared or if because he thinks it's utterly ridiculous that a halfling as small as you is waving this giant blade around. But either way, he is going to have disadvantage on all attacks between now and the start of his next turn. Or no, sorry, the end of his next turn. All right. So that means that if he takes any legendary actions or anything else, he's going to be at disadvantage until after he completes this next turn of his. All right. So Cyclops is distracted. Anything else, Mallory?
I think that keeps me busy for a while.
Yeah.
I'm doing my sword dance and
I
telling him
love
he
it.
sucks.
The sword dance. Yeah. I do not. He starts yelling back, and he is utterly distracted, but it is his turn. And at this point in time, he is not going, he is going to put his hand to the side of his head, and you see his eyes start to glow, and he is going to fire at, this is going to, so he can see LaCroix and just over the ridge. And so he's going to fire at you, but this is at disadvantage. What's your armor class one more time?
16.
All right. It actually misses you because of the disadvantage, which is good because he got a 20 on one of those. And so with the disadvantage, you see this bolt of concussive force just scream by your head. It doesn't hit you, but it looks like it would have hurt. And so screams by your head. And at this point in time, he says, and what are you, just an ant for me to crush beneath my heel? And he tries to stomp on you, Mallory. And what is your armor class?
18.
All right, so he stomps down, and as he does, he doesn't hit you. So you kind of sidestep at the last second, and his foot, he's pretty large because he's an actual Cyclops, and his foot kind of slams down next to you, but you get out of that unscathed. And he's like, stay still. And he's trying to stomp at you. It is Piper's turn. And LaCroix, you're on deck. Oh, muted. Sorry.
I'm not.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, sorry.
So Piper is going to pull her hands up, and she is going to use fear. And the image that she creates in front of Cyclops' face is a honey badger and a redhead engaged in a tender embrace and just dancing around Cyclops' head. He's just going to be tortured, and he's going to need to succeed on a wisdom saving throw of 14.
14.
That's awesome.
Okay. He fails that, but he is going to use his legendary resistance, one legendary resistance to succeed at that. He says, no, it can't be. She loves me. She doesn't love that feral animal. And he kind of shrugs it off, but you can tell it almost got to him. Anything else?
Well, it wasn't successful, but as a bonus action, I would like to give bardic inspiration to whoever is coming up after me.
Okay. And that is going to be, I'm assuming you mean ally. And so that is going, LaCroix. LaCroix is next.
So it'll float over to LaCroix. I make a little moat to go with my bardic inspiration and just send a little flower floating over to him.
I will reach out and tuck it up behind my giant Goliath ear.
Okay. All right. And what are you doing, LaCroix?
You said 120 away?
Yes.
All right. So
well, no, you've moved up the stairs at this point in time. So you're in reaching to do cool things distance.
Okay. Then I will move up on the Mr. Malevolent because that Hot Topic reject has given me some bad vibes, and I will attack him. And as let's see if I hit first with the first roll. And that is a 21.
That definitely hits.
All right, so then
Even with a shield.
So I'm going to go ahead and invoke both my tattoo and my fire rune. So he needs to make a DC 13 strength saving throw or be restrained for 1 minute. He takes a
One
damage.
on the die. He failed.
So.
He fell badly. So I normally house roll. We didn't have a lot of time to talk about this, but if someone rolls a 1 on a saving throw, typically they do 1.5 times damage. So whatever this is, have it again.
So that's 5 for the great sword, 12 for the fire rune, and then 4d6 for the tat.
Okay.
Which is another 11. So it sounds like somebody's doing math.
That should be 41.
I'm going to take it.
Now you are a lifesaver. Okay. So 41 points of damage. All right.
And and then for my second attack.
Let's go ahead and do this and see how this really goes.
I never liked that Scott guy anyway,
That's a 19.
Nice.
Okay, that hits as well.
Then I can use the tattoo again. I can't use the fire rune again. So that is another nice 15 from the greatsword, and 19 from the tattoo, so 34.
Who gave you these ridiculous magic items? All right, so that is a total of 41 plus what?
28, 30. You say another 30.
So
71 points. Yeah,
71 points of damage. All right, so you see this gigantic Goliath rush over to where Mr. Malevolent is, and you see he's got, as you get a little closer, he's got this little gem on his forehead, and it's kind of glowing as he's looking at something on the workshop table, and he puts up a finger and he just says, no, the work is far too important to be trifled with by, and he just and basically the onslaught comes on, and he is a burning husk by the time that you get done. How would how does he fall? I'm going to let you describe that.
So as I bring my greatsword and overhand smash the first time, he, fiery hellish chains erupt from the ground and wrap him around. I bring the greatsword on a back reverse slash, and my tattoos light up, causing him to drop to his knees. And then I just take the flowery ear, because unfortunately I did not need the bardic inspiration, tuck it behind his ear, and then just straight up giant 15-foot punt him off the mountain.
Nice.
And as he's punting, there's just a sliver of life left, and you just hear him say, "But the work must continue." And then it like cuts off a little bit because he is definitely dead, and he goes way off of that. So that was an onslaught and completely unexpected. So he is his turn is not happening now. We're going to move to Garnet. You have Cyclops, who isn't even aware that this has happened with Mr. Malevolent. He is still focused on the halfling in front of him, who is doing some ridiculous dance that is distracting him.
Well, I mean, clearly he's a statue and he's not enjoying the dance, and I'm going to cast Hold Person.
Okay, everybody's using their real toys. All right, what's the saving throw there?
I think it's a Wisdom 15.
My goodness, Lord Cyclops rolled a 1. Not even joking. Rolled a 1. You can't see that with my blur filter on.
That seems in character.
Yeah. Oh, Cyclops. All right, so rolled a 1, failed the saving throw.
I told you he was lame.
He is now held for he gets another saving throw at the end of his turn. Is that correct?
at the end of each of its turns, I think the first one he's failed, and then at the end of each of his subsequent turns, he can.
Yep. Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
But
So
he's paralyzed.
Cyclops is now paralyzed at this point in time, and this happens mid stomp. And so you see that he's got his hand like at his eye, and then his foot is just kind of in the air. It looks like he could even be tipped over almost. That's how that's how off balance he looks right now. So Lily Poof, it is now your turn.
That was what? It's just like what? Okay. All right. So he is like standing over with one foot.
Yeah, he's got a foot that's kind of hovering over. Mallory doesn't look in any kind of danger, but she's dancing and distracting, and it looks like he's trying to stomp on her, but he is now suspended with one foot in the air.
My sword's pointing up though, so if he stomps on me, he's gonna be in trouble.
Okay. So what I want to do is I want to cast Dragon's Breath, but I want to make sure that I don't get her in the area.
Yeah.
So
you're a professional. You do this all the time.
So I will do that. I will cast Dragon's Breath, and then I will breathe. Let's do acid.
Ooh.
Okay. So with real quick with hold person, just to verify, we do not have any. So he is not going to get a saving throw with damage either. Correct. That is correct. Yes. So. All right. So you said a saving throw for him? With Dragon Breath? Yeah, okay.
It's Dex 15.
He failed that, and he's out of legendary resistance. All right. So Cyclops sucks. All right. So
so he is going to take 12 points of damage.
Okay.
Not nearly as impressive, but let's see if and then let's see, what is it? I rolled these new dice. They like the low numbers.
I'm hoping for a sheep. That's all I want.
Well, let's see.
No potted plant.
I rolled a 1. So.
Oh, what is that one? That's something
That
good.
means I get another surge because it's not actually fun. So then. Oops. Let's see here.
Any cleric above level 10 would absolutely kill for that roll of a 1.
So everybody within 30 feet of me is invisible for the next minute.
Oh, wow. That's going to be hard. So that includes Cyclops though, right?
It just says, every creature.
Yeah. Okay. So
within 30 feet of you becomes
Cyclops and everyone else visibly winks out of existence. You think they might still be there. All right. Anything else, Lily Poof, or have you done enough?
I have done it. I'm going to do a little dance.
So everybody's dancing. Okay. That's how this is actually going to end. All right. So now it is to Augie, and due to a donation, Augie, you also have a wild magic surge. And as this happens, your wild magic surge is actually that you cast a fireball centered on yourself. So basically centered on yourself as a 3rd level spell. So let's try to be as honest as we can be. Who is around you, Augie?
I think I was behind. I was kind of like trailing behind because I'm pretty slow. So
so I'm going to say that this happens around you and no one else, and this is going to happen at the start of your turn. So make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, I'm going to use that last advantage, I think.
It's a good idea.
And that's a whopping 9.
All right, so you are going to take, goodness. Let's see.
Don't let theater professors watch your streams.
That's going to take, you're going to take 28 points of fire damage.
I'm still up.
Good.
You're still up, barely, probably, right? Okay,
barely.
So yeah. All right, so 28. Now it is your turn. So basically, as you start to get ready to go with what you were going to do, something happens. The multiverse smiles or frowns upon you, I guess, and all of a sudden, just into a burst of flame, and you take that damage, and your eyebrows are very singed. What are you doing now?
There are no eyebrows. There's only the gnome version of rage, which for a druid means a 3rd level moonbeam.
Yes.
But I am so enormously damaged that it does 7 points of damage.
Moonbeam, but I think Moonbeam does some interesting other effects, right?
It does
So,
indeed.
so basically, any kind of shape changer is reverted to its original form. I was trying to see if it made it visible, but it looks like it does not at this point in time. But the other bit of that is, but it is invisible for the next. I'm trying to see where the invisibility comes in. So
It was 70, so it's invisible until they attack. Just so it's
attacks or casts a spell.
When on a creature when it attacks or casts a spell.
Got it. Yeah. All right. So still invisible for now, but the moonbeam damages him, and it looks like you hear just kind of like a like he still can't move, but he's been damaged.
And Adam, for my bonus action, I'm gonna spend a wild shape to assume the starry form of an archer because I'm a Circle of Stars druid.
Okay. Right.
Which means I get to get off one ranged spell attack.
Okay, let's do it.
So that is 17 to hit.
All right. I'm going to waive the disadvantage in this case because you did just hit with Moonbeam. And so we're going to say, so 17 hits. Yes.
6 points of damage, radiant.
All right. So radiant damage smashes into the invisible wall where Lord Cyclops was. And at this point in time, Brightwood, it's your turn.
Okay, you ready for this? I'm going to shapeshift. I'm going to start running because I like doing the running transformation. Start running towards Cyclops, where I think he is anyway. I'm going to transform into a giant elk, okay, as I'm running. Now, I have blind fighting as one of my paladin specialties.
Excellent.
So I should be able to suss out exactly where he is. I'm going to put like wild fey energy smite damage into my horns, and I'm totally going to ram him with the giant elk ramming speed, and also smite as I ram. And I too am going to try and punt him off the mountain because I feel that like there should be symmetry to this battle.
Oh, okay. All right. Sounds good. So what's the attack roll there?
17.
You have advantage because he's paralyzed.
That is very true. You want to try that again to see if anything exciting happens?
I'll try, but
and it auto crits.
No. Oh, it auto crits?
It auto crits
with a melee attack. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't get a 20.
All right. So you do that, and it hits. And what is that damage there?
Jesus, okay, so I'm going to upcast the smite because we have so few.
We're almost out of time. Blow what you got, folks.
So I'm going to burn 2. I guess I have. Oh no, I have like 6. I have 4 spell slots left.
I think you got it. So let's just do it.
Yeah. All right. So that would be like 2, 4, 6, 8d8 extra damage.
All right. Let's see what that comes out to.
Oh, you want me to?
It's a game of attrition now, folks.
And all this doubled.
13, 14, 15, 6. Oh, that's 23. And so that's 28 from radiant damage plus 2d6 actual charge damage.
56.
Sorry.
Right.
And that's an extra 7 from the 10 from the bludgeoning damage ramming speed.
Was that doubled or no?
No, none of that was doubled.
Because that would be 66.
66.
All right, 66.
I feel bad about myself.
All right, hold on. So is that a total of 66 points of damage?
Yes, I believe so.
I didn't add any modifiers. That was just what you told me was rolled.
Well, it's the 8d8 what came out to about 28 damage.
Okay.
So
56.
that's
sounds about right.
That's 56, yeah.
And then an extra 10.
66, yeah.
So 66. All right. So with 66 points of damage, you just slam into Lord Cyclops or where he was, and you actually see at this point in time that he does take a legendary action at the end of your turn. But you, as he takes that action, he's going to become visible, and your antlers are just in his undercarriage, right? Just really, really like jammed in there, and he is hurting very, very badly. And at this point in time, you see that he actually like with some kind of strange looking like goggle that he has. He starts turning this dial on the goggle, and he just raises his arms back with his legendary action, and he does a concussive burst around him that kind of goes in all directions. So everyone who is in melee range, it's going to be Mallory, LaCroix, you were close enough for this. Really, I think everyone except possibly Augie and Garnet. Were you up there?
No, I cast a spell from
all right,
far
so
away.
you two are not going to have to make this save, but everybody else needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, I'm going to just use my ghost step tattoo and turn intangible, which I don't think actually helps with force damage, but it would be cool.
Okay, all right, you do that. Well, that's the real question. Is this force damage or is this fire damage from heat?
Whatever.
I don't know.
I am I'm turning into a ghost elk.
Going ghost.
Got it. All right,
we're rolling a 20-sided for this, right? And
that is correct.
30.
Yeah, dexterity saving throw bonus. So that's going to actually be, let's see here. So yeah, roll the d20, and it's going to be +1 for Mallory.
Okay, so then that just gives me 10.
Yeah. Okay, so anybody get under 15, you're going to take.
Can I use my bardic that I got from Piper on this, or?
I don't think you can use that on a saving throw, can you? Unless it's a lore bard. But yes, you can.
I'm gonna
see what you get.
Use Tides of Chaos to get advantage on this.
Okay.
That would put me to a 18.
Okay, so who got under 15?
I got under 15.
Okay,
but
so if you got under
no.
15, that is going to do 20 points of damage.
Oh,
force
shoot.
damage.
It was
not
force damage.
Fire damage, 20 points. So you can tell this is a last ditch effort, though, by Lord Cyclops, because this is the big gun that he just blew there. Everyone else is going to take 10 points of force damage if you succeeded on the save.
I am blasted out of elk form.
Okay, no longer an elk at this point in time,
No.
and it looks like Lord Cyclops might be rallying just a little bit with that major explosion that he just did. And we are back to the top of the order with Mallory.
Okay, so I've got 20 points hit damage, but I still think I could at least stab him in the foot, or
All
chop
right.
his foot off, because I've got the vorpal sword, and I know that's violent, but we're getting desperate here.
All right, make the attack roll because he is still frozen at this point.
Okay. Okay, I rolled a 17.
Ooh.
With advantage? Nice.
So I don't know what I'm supposed to add to that.
17 plus your attack. I had you pulled up here. So with that vorpal sword +9. So
Okay.
definitely hit. And you're going to roll 2d6 and add 6 to it for your damage.
Okay.
Actually, no, this is an automatic critical hit. And
okay.
you are going to roll 4d6 and add 6 to it.
Okay. So 3 plus 1 is 4. Boo. Plus 4 is 8. That's 3 rolls, right? Okay. And 2 is 10. And then add 6. So 16. Is that where we're at?
Total would be 26.
26.
26?
Sorry.
Is that right?
Because she rolled 10, doubled it +6.
Got it. Okay. So perfect. I'm good with that because you needed about 15 until this creature fell. And so, Gail, can you please describe for me how Cyclops falls?
Well, he falls away from me because I'm right by his foot. But I'd say he falls down the stairs. There's stairs there, right?
Yeah. All right. So
fall down the stairs.
You see, so basically Mallory comes up, vorpal sword. This time it does not cut off a head, but it cuts off a big toe. And the big toe comes down, slice, it lands next to you, Lord Cyclops' big toe, and you see that he is fallen and he's kind of frozen for just a moment. The magic of whole person still taking root, and he is bleeding profusely out of that foot, and his life force just dissipates, and he goes down. And as he crashes to the ground, it is very close to those stairs, and he starts just slowly at first rolling, picking up speed by the time he gets to the bottom, and Cyclops Lord Cyclops lies just completely vanquished at the foot of the stairs.
Sorry, dude, you shouldn't have been such a meanie.
And
Gail,
so
you should make a helmet out of that toe for your character.
Hang it from my belt and then
Yeah.
drag it around as big as I am.
Mallory Goodbarrel, Cyclops Bane. All right. And so at this point in time, we are going to wrap things up here. I appreciate everyone joining us out there. Everyone is going to make it back with proof. Maybe the big toe, you bring it back to everyone at the Bear Folks settlement of Bramblebee. And Mayor Margot is studying. Thank you so much for all of your help. And then eventually everyone explains what was going on. The uncanny courts say that, hey, Lord Cyclops made us do it. And that they all come to an understanding, and they figure out that they could just pay for the honey instead of taking it by force. And Cyclops and his tyranny is now no longer part of the uncanny court. Joanna Ash is in charge, as she always should have been, and everyone lives happily ever after. I'm going to go through one more time. Yeah,
Wait,
thank you
then
all.
they erect a statue in the square of the big toe.
Yeah, that's it. Of the big toe.
With
Mallory
a
holding
halfling
the
on
big
top
toe.
of it.
Yeah, that's it. Holding aloft a Vorpal greatsword.
Exactly.
All right, thanks everyone for joining us. We're going to go around the horn one more time to let everyone talk about who they are and what they might be doing. And if you want to throw in a little bit of epilogue, since this is one shot and everybody always wonders what happens to these characters after this happens, you can do that too. And otherwise, you still have time to donate. We have games after this one this evening as well for Jasper's Game Day, for suicide prevention. Thank you so much for all the donations that have come through during the course of this week-long, I think it's like 10-day long event. This is such a huge part of what Jasper's does each year, and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much to everyone out there for doing that. We're going to go around and then I'll take us out. So let's start again with Krystina.
Hi, my name's Krystina. I played Piper Peppercorn. You can find me on the interwebs, Krystina Arielle, Krystina Arielle. If you spell it wrong, it's not me. And you can find me there on Instagram and Twitter. And I live on Twitter. It's kind of my house. Gail's my neighbor. So if you need to get in touch with me, I don't know, come say hi and be nice. Don't say stuff. I don't know. And watch Star Wars: The High Republic show. We have a new episode bi-monthly. There's a new episode coming out this month. So watch, support. I am also in a show called Into the Motherlands, which is also available on podcast. So if you can't watch the show on Wednesdays on twitch.tv/CypherTier, then you can always listen to it on podcast wherever you get your podcast. It is extremely fun, and I hope that you will check it out and have a great day. Thank you again to Jasper's Game Day for everybody that I've had the pleasure of playing with. And thanks, Fenway, for organizing all of this.
Absolutely. Thank you, Fenway. And Toni.
Toni Winslow-Brill. I played Lily Poof. You can find me on Twitter at VORGRYTH for Gris. I am one of the writers of Candlekeep, and I do a lot of other writing and editing, and you'll see me popping up quite a bit here and there all over the place because I like fun.
And Gail.
Did you say Gail?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm Gail Simone, and I write lots of things. I hang out on Twitter. You can get me at Gail Simone. And I played Mallory Goodbarrel. And so I think now, true to my last name, I'm going to go and consume a barrel of honey.
There you go. Excellent send off. And we have Lindsay.
My name's Lindsay Janu. I played Patrick Brightwood, the young Adam Driver, Paladin Druid. He is going to finally write a letter to his mom, dad, and little brother and tell them that he is okay, but he got a tattoo and he's going to Chult to hang out with the family friend Chronico. And that's just how it's going to be, Mom. I'm not coming back to Paladin College. Keith Christensen and I wrote a fun little anime-inspired module called Secrets of Golden Fire. You can find it on DM's Guild. It's for tier 1, and it's lots of fun, and it's a bit rough, but we love it. So feel free to check that out.
The DM says that the parents and family were very supportive of Brightwood's choices. So, all right, moving on to
that means
Emily.
a lot.
Hi, I'm Dr. Emily Friedman, and I teach and write about RPGs and live streams. You can find me on Twitter at FRIEDE, where you can find information about my YouTube channel, which explores how to role play the 18th century instead of medieval shit. And you can also find information about a current call for pitches, bringing together creators and fans and folks in a cool dialogue, hopefully in the coming months. And Augie has gone back to the observatory, but not before one more side quest. Augie's friend Celebration, who has magical pyrotechnic abilities, seems to be in need of a friend, and maybe Honey Badger is the friend that Celebration needs.
I don't know about that, bub. All right. So thanks, Emily. Turner.
So my name is Surtur Coates. I'm the Dungeon Master and host of the Gimme the Loot podcast. You can find me on Twitter at GMDLcast. Our podcast is on all your major platforms. LaCroix would have gone. I played
LaCroix Waterloo.
LaCroix would have gone back to the Feywild with the Summer Court. Number one, to make sure that Cyclops is historically underused, but slightly better character brother Alex kept his head together, and that the visions of a fiery phoenix dying, coming back, destroying the world, and dying again, but coming back nice this time, except for the clone of her, then dying and coming back again as her daughter from an alternate timeline that didn't come to fruition.
Very good. And last but certainly not least, we have Real Patrick.
Oh, Real Patrick. Patrick Shield. I played Garnet. I'm a lot newer to D&D, so I don't have a lot of cool things that I'm doing, but it was awesome playing with all of you. But I will say one thing Garnet would have done is he would have used probably all of the charges in the wand to transform everyone into whatever animal they wanted, and Lily Poof specifically into a giant T-Rex so that she could feel what it's like to be big.
Of course. That is a wonderful send-off. Thanks, everyone. I am Adam Bradford. I'm the CDO at Demiplane, and you can find me on Twitter at BadEyeAdam. Again, thank you so much for the support. I'm also on the board of advisors here for Jasper's Game Day, and I am just so proud of what Fenway and the entire organization is doing for an incredibly worthy cause. You're not a critical failure. If you need help, reach out. You're going to see places to do that in chat. And again, thank you all for all the donations throughout the course of this entire 10-day event. We have more games coming this evening and afternoon. I think that at this point, we're going to have a little bit of a break. Hopefully they can cover in chat how long that's going to be, but come back for those other games if you get a chance. And otherwise, I hope everybody has a wonderful evening, day, wherever you are in the world. Thanks again. Later, Gators.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you
so much.
It was fun.
It was lots of